to Hell in Norway for round 5 of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship. This is live wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. You're about to watch qualifying 1, and we have all qualifying sessions live for you right now. So share it, tell your friends, because this is the place to be. As you can hear, some of the engines are starting to fire up. This is what's technically known as the pre-grid. So we'll have race 1, then race 2, then race 3. That's Alex Wirtz, the Le Mans and Formula 1 legend, then Sebastian Loeb and Kevin Hansen. So let's go over and have a quick word with someone who's in the final race of qualifying. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Let's just jump in here and have a quick word with Matthias. Matthias, give us a sense of what this circuit is like as a rallycross driver, because it looks phenomenal.
I think it's one of the coolest track, especially in terms of elevation. Start looks pretty normal, but immediately after 15 meters or something, it is a little dip. Then you go into turn 1, banked corner, and up to the Joker. You can't really see it, but it goes a bit up. Then you go down to turn 2, very slippery braking. And then you do a tight hairpin left, and then it goes a lot downhill. So they really feel that it's down. And then really hard braking on the bottom, and then it goes up very steep again. So that makes a huge difference from the perception of the speed. Then it's a very fast gravel left-hander, which is pretty cool. And the last corner, I would say, is the most unique corner of the championship, because you enter the corner and then it goes really steep uphill in the middle of the corner. And then once you're at the exit, you only see the beautiful blue sky and the crest, jump, and then you can say that was a lap.
Now that's it's like a roller coaster ride, this circuit. And what's your sort of strategy this weekend? Because I think you'd like to get on the podium, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, over the years here was the first race EKS ever did, was here in 2014. So since then we never really found a sweet spot set up in the dry. In the wet we have always been okay here. So we have been trying some new things to improve, and I mean, going on the podium and spraying champagne, I've done once. I would love to do it again, but I know one guy in my team who really want to be more on the podium than me this weekend.
Of course, because Andreas Backward is Norwegian. Well, good luck, Matthias. Thank you very much. So this is, of course, round 5 of the championship. If you've missed the first 4 rounds, where have you been? This is how the calendar looks so far. So after Spain, Portugal, Belgium and Great Britain, Silverstone was 2 weeks ago, we are now in Norway for round 5. So we're just, this is the third of the way through the championship. And if we look at the map, we're about as north as we get in this championship, right in the forests, way up there on the side of Norway. So it's very, very exciting. The cars are starting to pull up to the grid. It's going to be interesting to see what Alex Wirtz does this weekend, but remember, qualifying is 4 races, 4 sets of races. They all race against each other, but they're racing against the clock. Let's have a look at what you will get to see this weekend. So this is now, the sound of the engines behind us is because World RX Qualifying 1 is happening as we speak. That's the first 3 cars putting up to the grid. Then this afternoon at 3 o'clock local time is Qualifying 2. Then we can take the evening off, but you have to be back tomorrow morning at 5 to 10 for Qualifying 3. Then the big deciding Qualifying 4 is at 5 to midday. And then after that is the semi-finals and the finals, which you would normally watch on your television. So I think we're nearly ready to go. The first 3 cars are pulled up towards the grid. So let's go up to Andrew Coley and Guy Wilkes up in commentary, and make sure you follow everything. Any questions you have, #WorldRX, but enjoy Qualifying 1.
Very much looking forward to this. It was cold here yesterday, really cold, under 10 degrees. You could see your breath in front of your face. It's beautiful here today. The view down the graphic here, down the graphic, I'm being spoken to in my ear, down the valley towards the airport is absolutely fantastic. Trondheim Airport is just down at the bottom of the hill. That's absolutely stunning. We're going to have a look at the championship standings as we come here to Norway in Hell. I'm having a look down at my monitor in here. Hopefully you'll be seeing something at home in just a few short moments. Shorts weather, as you can see, from Guy Wilkes' attire. Johan Kristoffersen on 105 points, 14 points ahead of Sebastian Loeb. Andreas Backward and Matthias Ekstrom in 3rd and 4th, 3 points ahead of those. Solberg is equal with Ekstrom, look on points. Timmy Hansen just 9 points back there. So the 6 manufacturer cars, yeah, okay, there's a spread of 34 points between them, but it's a lot closer than it was last year. And the fact is that the speed is there for all of these teams. So all to play for. We're a third of the way through, 8 rounds to go. Let's have a look at the grid for the first race of Q1 here in Norway. Well, you can see the fans in the background. waiting for this one to start. The low rumble of the engines as Solberg, Bennett and Markland get ready to head down towards the first corner. Solberg has a great record of winning all his Q1 races so far this year. Let's see what he can do here. Really, I think he should get the job done. Now, as Neil said, my name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me is Guy Wilkes on commentary. That is Petter Solberg. A slight nod to the marshal. He pulls on the handbrake, gets the launch ready to go. We're going to get qualifying underway for round 5. Oh, good launch from Bennett, a bit sideways off the line, so Solberg gets better traction. Markland gets pushed out towards the side. Solberg's got the whole shot here. He can choose whether Joker or not. Lines the car up for the standard line. Markland from the outside of the grid heads out onto the Joker lap.
Yeah, Markland was a bit hesitant there off the start line, and I don't really know why, because he did get left off the start, and his real option was to go the Joker, but he did actually think about going into the standard lap. But as you can see, Petter Solberg back to business. I did notice on the start line there, he was still wearing his GB gloves.
Yeah, that's a big mistake at home, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Oliver Bennett behind. I saw Bennett this morning. He's learning the sport. He's in a good car here with a good strong engine. We know that. He said he was losing through these last 2 corners 1.5. So through the course of the lap, he's losing only a tenth or 2 in the first 2 sectors. And I said to him, look, who's in your first race? And he said Solberg. And Guy, he decided he was going to go with Solberg on the first lap, whatever he did. And I think when you're learning, despite the fact Solberg's now a little way in front, it's a good tactic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to hold on to somebody who's in front of you, who has more experience. And okay, we don't know how good Oliver's car really is, but at the same time, we know that the VW is very, very strong. So if he can hang on to the shirt tails of Petter Solberg as he's setting this place alight right from the start. You know, he didn't feel that well in GB in Silverstone. He's feeling a bit better here, but let's hope he's on top form.
Solberg said to me earlier this weekend, we've done a press conference with him, we did a paddock walk with him, you can find that on Facebook as well as on YouTube, and he was saying, look, I'm not going to say this year that I'm going to win here, because he said, I really want to win here, I really want to win.
You can't say that at the moment.
And every time he says I want to win here, he says he has a terrible weekend, so he's kind of come in here and said, do you know what, I'm just going to do my race weekend, I'm just going to tick off the races on the strategy. A good idea to remove the pressure of the home race?
Yeah, live for the moment. It's a good lesson in life, isn't it? Not get too far ahead of yourself. Don't trip yourself up. Put excess pressure on yourself. He knows what pressure is, but at the same time, you just can't predict this at the moment, can you?
He's come close, hasn't he, twice? Barcelona, I think he looked like he could have been on for the win, and of course he ended up in the wall with Ekstrom in turn 1. Him in his contact with his teammate as we see Solberg into the Joker and typical Solberg style.
Beautiful.
Mint, lovely. But
he's killing this, by the way. He's absolutely smashing everyone. He's on absolutely flying laps. He's done a 38.3 and a 38.5. You know, Bennett was saying he's losing the second half. He's actually losing 2 seconds a lap.
Solberg, look at that. You saw the rear wheel of Solberg's car pick up when he dived onto the brakes, and the corner at the bottom hill was a little bit wider. We'll cover that for you in the next race. You'll be able to see some of the changes. Also, check this left-hander out. The Armco on the inside is different to how it was before. It's a different marker and on a different line, and we'll get Guy Wilkes to talk you through that during race 2. So up towards the line, the first race of the day is over. It has gone to Solberg. He maintains his record of winning on all his Q1 races so far in 2018.
Absolutely, and Anton Markland off camera, the first lap, he's had an absolute disaster there. He had a lap time of a minute, so he must have span or stalled or something off screen that we didn't see either us or you at home. So yeah, he will not be pleased with that start.
He will not. Race 1 done and dusted. We'll take a look at the target time for everybody else.
That's a timing error, Andrew, actually.
Okay, Guy Wilkes saying it's a timing error, so not a problem for Anton Markland. 2 minutes 40.417 for Petter Solberg. The timing screens will be corrected because Markland is in P2, Oliver Bennett is in P3.
It's quite sleepy in the bottom corner and turn 6. And turn 7 also was more sleepy than I expected, so did a few mistakes. I did everything I could. I pushed on the really good places where I could actually gain some time, but I think it will maybe be cleaning more in the heats after, because it's a little bit different line the other car's been driving, but I'm happy with that. I couldn't do more that in that heat.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, this was the first race from Norway featuring Petter Solberg, Oliver Bennett and Anton Martin. If you look down at turn one, of course, Martin ended up taking the joke. That Guy Wilkes, pretty sensible tactics from that grid slot.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was dropped off the line, so it's sensible to go into the joker on the first lap. But Petter Solberg, he was a little bit concerned about the cleaning effect. Obviously, he's the first race out in qualifying one. He doesn't know how the other guys are going to perform because obviously the track is going to clean slightly. But here, as you can see, absolutely nailed the joker. He did say that he made a couple of mistakes, nothing too big.
Yeah, Solberg on a bit of a fly. He's had a good record this year. He's won all his Q1 races, as we said, and he goes on to win the first one here as well. Massive crowd here today. The weather is absolutely stunning. As I say, look at that. Not a cloud in the sky, just the flags of the multiple nations and the many people who've travelled here to see it. We've got helicopters taking off from the top banking up behind the track. It's a weird viewing area here. The fans are a long way back, but they go a long way up the hill, Guy, because it allows them to see down. And what you don't see on the telly is how steep this place is.
Absolutely. You know, it is very, very steep, and the local crowd have gone nuts for another local favourite, who is, you know, Mr. Tommy Rustad. That's why they've gone berserk.
Well, looking forward to seeing what Tommy can do in this one. Monster Energy Girls on the grid saying Q1 race 2, as you can see. So hopefully we'll be able to see the grid for this one. Well, here is the grid for race 2 of Q1. Or maybe not. Okay, Schiesrit still pulling up to the line. So Schiesrit in the GCK machine, slotting into P5 alongside his teammate. So Gregoire de Moustier on the inside. Joni-Pekka Raila is next to him. Tommy Rustad in the middle of the grid. Jérôme Grosjean and Guerlain Schiesrit are on the grid for this. Well, apologies, we're just having a couple of issues here, which means that Guy Wilkes is going to be unavailable for this race. So I'll be carrying it on my own. And we're hoping actually now Guy can come back in. Guy, welcome back.
Hopefully, yes. I've got myself.
Here,
I can hear myself
You're
again.
back in
so
the room.
Hopefully you can at home as well. Yeah, back in the room.
Okay, good stuff. Right, I say apologies. We get ourselves in a row and ready to go as the cars are on the line. The marshals are going to give us a thumbs up. They will walk back from the grid. All very well organised here in Norway. This is a massive sport, and winning this event is a massive thing for any local driver. Oh, it's a bad start. Jérôme Grosjean in and Schiesrit. Both the ProDrive cars got that very badly wrong indeed. Down into turn one. Rustad looks like he's going to try and go standard lap, but he's run himself wide.
Yeah, really bad mistake. You saw the crowd going nuts for Tommy Rustad. Obviously, he's another local Norwegian guy, as well as Andreas Bakkerud racing here this weekend. Made a cracking start.
Schiesrit's off. Schiesrit's in the gravel, Guy. Where's that?
It's up at turn one on the Joker lap.
It is.
On the inside the Joker, which is very strange to be on the inside.
They had disastrous starts the whole weekend at Silverstone. Now Schiesrit's had another bad one here. It's just not going their way.
Yeah,
that car is not moving from the commentary position.
And Grosjean just got going now off the start line. He's almost a lap down.
So Grosjean has just passed the commentary position here in Norway. You're looking at the leader, Joni-Pekka Raila. First time for him in one of these start cars. We've seen Raila in things like the Saab. It's fantastic to see him in a proper car. He's highly rated, isn't he?
Yeah, these start cars are great. You know, Janis Baumanis drove it last year, Timur Janov. They've done a lot of development. They've built a very good car, good engine and transmission package, and he'll be hoping for a good result this weekend.
Now talk us through this bottom corner, Guy, because you competed yourself last year.
I don't know if he made a mistake or if he hit the curbs too hard and maybe broke or bent something. Then he was a very strange reaction. But anyway, we'll continue.
Zach Schiesrit is back underway as well.
Yes.
So the two GCK cars are running astern, but a lap down. As you look at Raila coming over the start finish line in the background, you can see those guys are nearly. Well, look at the timing.
Whoa, big accident down the bottom. Tommy Rustad.
De Moustier is missing a wheel. Rustad spins the car around. The wheel is lying in the gravel traps. All happening here. This is a lot of action
going
in Q1.
Crazy stuff.
You need to get a good secure run in here in Q1, Guy. At the minute, the only person who's doing that is Raila.
Yeah, and he's the least experienced in terms of regular competition at the moment. He's got a lot of experience in rallycross, but these four guys behind him know exactly what they need to do in Q1. They will not be best pleased.
No, they won't. It's an absolutely terrible start to the weekend. Anyway, we were talking track changes, so talk us through the hairpin at the bottom first of all. Bit wider.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not in track width.
No, it's not in track width. It's a slightly different shape. They've taken it a little bit wider, a little bit deeper, and the apex seems a little bit later to me. Here we go into the Joker with Raila.
Tidy, actually, really tidy.
Yeah, lovely
done.
line.
And we'll have a look for the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. So Q1, in Q2, remember later on today, all the fastest guys are together, and it is dusty, and they put a lot of dust decks down last night. Watch for the line in the hairpin at the bottom of the hill here, and you'll see this curve. So the curve, you used to rotate the car here and quite tight, and they've extended the curve a lot further around.
You can actually see the old white line on the inside the track.
And they used to be a lot nearer that wall on the inside. Now look for the arm co on the left-hand side of the drive.
Changed also.
Yes, and it's slightly more open again, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a real angle before over the crest. As we come with Ryler up to the finish line, he's going to finish this up, and he's got a stonking lead. Nobody near him. 11 seconds.
Yeah, massive. 2:45.1 though. He's nearly 5 seconds off the pace of Solberg. So Solberg, in no danger here. Ryler will want to improve on that pace. But for me, the big issue, GCK. What on earth has happened there, Guy? It smacks of a problem for both cars when both guys get such disastrous starts.
Oh yeah, Shishiri pushing hard there. Yeah, hot restarts or something like that. Sometimes the cars are difficult. I don't know why Shishiri ended up on the inside of the last lap.
Okay, so the GCK cars cross the finish line. Johnny-Pekka Ryler takes the lead from Tommy Rustad in this one. Gulan Schischrit and Jerome Grosjean. De Moustier is a three-wheeled DNF in the last corner. Solberg, as you can see, leads the session by 4 seconds, 4.2 in fact at the moment. Johnny-Pekka Ryler slots up into third place behind Anton Mark, and then it's Bennett, Rustad, Schischrit, Grosjean and De Moustier. That is an absolute disaster for them, and it will see them at the bottom of the timesheets for now. So what do you think there then, Guy?
It is a disaster for them, guys, but it's absolutely great for Johnny-Pekka Ryler. Couldn't have had a better start, really. Got a clear run. Yes, it was 5 seconds down on Petter Solberg, but he's only a second behind Anton Markland.
He's a good peddler. What do you think is the difference between the Saabs, which are slightly older, bigger car? Okay, we're going to have a look at the replay of the race first of all, but the Saab, the slightly older car, is now at the start. On to race 2, this was the start. Both the Pro Drive machines left at the line, no good for them. Just out in turn 1, had tried to go around the outside. This was actually him taking his Joker lap later on in the race. And he then had contact in the background here. So have a look, Gregoire de Moustier runs the car wide. And then Rustad in fact did well to avoid him. So de Moustier had already lost the wheel, it seems. So the wheel must have come off earlier. Maybe de Moustier hit the barrier on the inside.
Who knows? But Tommy Rustad actually very unfortunate for that to happen right in front of him. But these two guys in the GCK cars, they're having a race of their own because of problems. They couldn't get one car started on the start line and stalled, and Gulan Schischrit ended up on the inside of the Joker there, as we see it, on the gravel, parked for a long time.
Ryler taking the win in this one, a little way off the pace, needs to get used to that new car. Okay, so that was pretty carnage, to be honest, for a Q1. So Q1, Guy, is always... The racing isn't necessarily that tight in Q1 because the way the draw works, we see the top drivers spread through between the different heats within the qualifying session. So we'll see them get closer in the other ones. But for me, you need to stay out of trouble in Q1.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You need to stay out of trouble. Don't trip yourself up.
Alex Wirtz is on the line. His first race in the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Told me this morning his first time driving on gravel. This is a guy who's had podiums in Formula 1 and has twice won the 24 Hours Le Mans. But he said to me, he's come here to challenge himself. He knew it would be hard. He knew he didn't know what he was doing. And he said, do you know what as well? He said, I'd forgotten. He said, I got down to turn 1. He said, I was tight. I was not relaxed. He said, mate, he spun it on turn 2 of his outlap. And he said, I thought, what are you doing? You're
fantastic
here to enjoy
opportunity just to come and test your skill, isn't it, really?
Well, and his dad, of course, 3 times European Rallycross champion. So Rallycross is in the blood of this family. But he's a lovely guy, and he's super excited to be here with MJP Racing. He's running the car which Andrew Jordan ran in Silverstone, which we know was brand new. And in fact, Max Pusher, who's in this same race in the centre of the grid, that car hadn't turned. The mechanic said to me, it hasn't even done 1 centimetre when they were putting it together on Friday morning. So both these cars are pretty new, and the development continues. But they'll be hoping for a better run than AJ had at Silverstone, where it's fair to say I think they had a few teething problems.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're a good team. They've had good results in the past, so I'm sure they'll come back.
Right, we're going to take another look, as you see de Moustier's car going back to the paddock. We're going to take a look at the incident between him and Rustad. So have a watch for the crest, which you'll see in just a moment. Okay, in the background, here's de Moustier. The wheel's already off. There, the wheel pops off there. So he's broken that further down the hill. The wheel now is bouncing off through the background, left-hand side of your shot. Rustad just tightens his line to avoid him and spins. So Rustad's done well there, but guys, cost him a lot of time.
Absolutely not what he wanted. No. It was bad enough that he went wide into the first corner and probably dropped, the lead position.
Well, there we go. Cars are on the line. Coming past me at the commentary position is Demoustier's car with only 3 wheels on. Sebastian Loeb Racing will have to get ready to repair that in time for the next one. On the inside for Q1 Race 3, Alex Wirtz, Kjetil Larsen next to him, Max Pusher in the middle, the world champion Johan Kristoffersen on the outside, and the round the outside specialist Kevin Eriksson next to him. So you'd have to have your money on the 2 guys on the outside here, Guy. And in terms of tactics, I would expect that they would want to go Joker. But if you were one of them, do you react if the other one goes and not go there?
I would like to talk about somebody else. Alex Wirtz has had, Formula 1 experience, LMP1 experience.
He's never had a start like this, has he?
No, I bet he's getting a bit twitchy. He's never had 5 cars side by side
about
into
this.
turn 1, which is a big stopper.
Funnily enough, Bakker had said exactly the same thing in the press conference yesterday. He was like, you won't believe the adrenaline of a 5-in-line start, which I thought was
already
really cool.
happens in every racing series that he's done, from the way they gridded up or the rolling start. Here, the funnel happens
in turn 1. Here we go. Great insight from Guy Wilkes. Watch for Wirtz on the inside, but look for the world champion for the performance on the outside. He's got the start.
Johan
Kristoffersen, I think, unless somebody else nudged it first, I think Johan Kristoffersen. No, they're saying Wirtz.
Oh.
So that means then Kristoffersen in his peripheral has seen Wirtz go and has reacted. So have a look, and yeah, you see the marshal on the far left of your screen standing up the jump start sensor. Yeah, it's the first time, of course, he's ever done this series. So I imagine someone on the radio is going, okay, now you've got to do 2 jokers, and he's probably going, okay.
And stay calm.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a bit of extra practice for the Joker lap at least, Guy. You only get to do it once, but again,
he's done thousands of miles.
Yeah, not the start
in so many different cars. Okay, not rallying, not rallycross, but this is just so different. It's a big pressure situation. You sat there with the car singing at 5,500 RPM. The turbo is zinging hot with boost. It's so easy for it to drag away from your foot on the clutch.
21 kilometres testing is all he's done. 21 kilometres he did last week. He said he drove the car last year a little bit, but he said to me, I've never done a launch. He said, I can't wait to do a full launch. So
we can hear they're going to be coming again. We can hear them in the background.
Okay, eyes back down at the monitors in here in the commentary box, and for you guys at home as well. Very long hold for a second start. Kristoffersen gets an absolute flyer. Closes the door on Pusher. Larsen on the inside. Looks to have got good ground on Wirtz. Contact
Kristoffersen's
Wirtz.
been smashed in the back.
So Kristoffersen, no, so it's Larsen that's gone round. Kristoffersen still leading out front. So into the Joker lap goes Eriksson. And
Johan Kristoffersen was smashed so hard in the back there. I wonder if his car's actually okay.
Okay. Right, so down into the bottom of the hill.
A bit of damage, right rear.
Okay, Kristoffersen then on the way up the hill with a bit of smoke coming up as well. Great spot.
There is damage to that car. It's not tracking the right way. But hopefully it's just tracking and the wheel's not moving.
Yeah, can we see the rear corner? Yeah, so you can see the rear corner of bumper's missing. Let's see if we can stay on the rear shot and see whether or not we actually see it. Yes, the whole corner of the bumper's missing.
It's hopping as if the dampers may be broken. It's just pumping it a little bit as it came up the hill.
So Kristoffersen then with a hampered car. Tell you what, check Petter's best lap time and let's see whether or not Kristoffersen can get anywhere near that. Of course, he won't off the start. Kevin Eriksson is in P2, 4.4 down, having jokered. Wirtz has taken the first of his joker as Pusher. Larsen, of course, who was spun in the first corner. We'll have a look at the replays and try and figure it out.
Yeah, but we're getting a little bit too much carnage for the top drivers liking in this first qualifying. That's why they don't like this random draw.
Yeah, exactly. They want to be in, don't they, with the other guys who they rate as the quickest and possibly also the most careful. And that sounds a funny thing to say, but you'll know what I mean by that, Guy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you've got to have a little bit of caution. But Johan Kristoffersen coming over the line now with a 38.4. So yeah, he's bang on Petter's pace, 38.36. Petter did before, so he's there or thereabouts. But it did look like it was pumping a little bit, that car, to me. It might not have a big problem, but it could have just been the undulation. But it did look.
Wirtz a bit deep up in turn 1. That's more of a traditional racing line if you're looking for great exit speed, but slightly shorter track here when it's only about 1 kilometre long. Kevin Eriksson at the bottom of the hill.
Pushing very hard, Kevin Eriksson, but he's still a second a lap slower than Johan Kristoffersen. Just shows how quick they are at the moment, the VWs.
Max Pusher's just come past the competition, seems to be losing a fair bit of time. He's a long way back behind Larsen. Up into the joker lap goes your race leader Kristoffersen. He's sideways but tidy on the exit. Nicely done. That's from the Petter Solberg book of joker laps, and you can see the crossover.
That car, even though he's had a hell of a whack up the back.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the world champion. We saw the recovery at Silverstone, which was pretty unbelievable.
Wide in the joker.
Yeah, and
turned it in the car completely neutral. You have to get the car turning sideways. That's lack of gravel driving, really, that we're seeing.
And that's
there.
what he said, isn't it? That he hasn't done any gravel work at all. Here comes Kristoffersen up towards the finish. The target time of Solberg is 2:40.417. Bottom of your screen. That's what Kristoffersen's aiming for, to depose his teammate at the top of the table. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. It's going to be close. 2:39.9. He does it by just 0.5 of a second. Kristoffersen goes to the top of Q1. And we've got 2 races still to come. Good job by the world champion, despite that touch in turn 1, which hopefully we'll get another look at in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to block it out of his mind, you know, because that was a hell of a... It wasn't a tap, it was a whack. He blocked it out of his mind.
I must admit, I thought you were talking about Larsen, who's been spun round, so...
Let's see it.
We're going to see the result first of all, and we'll be able to tell you where these guys have slotted in. So Kevin Eriksson looks to have done a pretty decent job there. Everybody else, I think, fairly well off the pace. Let's take a look. Pusher crosses the line. His only World Rallycross outing this year. Still the crowd enjoying the sunshine. Hopefully going to last for them all weekend. Not looking quite so hot on Monday. Okay, we're going to go and have a chat with Neil Cole instead of having a look at the result right now. Kristoffersen has just pulled off the side of the track and he's with Neil.
Johan, you managed to get the quickest time so far, but I'd have thought you would have hoped for no trouble in turn 1 this time.
Yeah, and it was almost without any trouble. I had a very good launch. I actually get some feedback from Petter about the start line, so very good launch. A little bit of a struggle in T1, but not much. From there on, felt good, but I'm not sure if it's enough. The track is getting quicker and quicker for every lap, but I did everything I could, and anyway, a very good Q1, especially considering the start position I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here's a look at race 3 from Q1. Johan Kristoffersen got a great start here and moves across, but look on the inside, you've got Wirtz who has contact there with Larsen, and Larsen actually looks like he was rotating round to hit the back of Johan Kristoffersen's
No, watch it from this point of view.
Boom. Oh, he does
Big
hit
hit
hard,
in the
doesn't
back.
he? So in fact, it's almost Larsen touching the back of Kristoffersen that's spun him round rather than Wirtz on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it grabbed on the back of Johan's wheel as well, which would unbalance the car.
Exactly what we saw happen to Johan, of course, when he touched the back of Solberg on the way down to turn 1 in Silverstone. So Johan Kristoffersen doing a good job here out front. He was pretty much in the clear, guy, and you know that was thanks to Max Pusher, of course, hasn't done so much rallycross this year. So Alex Wirtz is still learning it, and a super tidy Joker.
Corner sorted it all out, and that's where it all stopped because people had to deviate and take different lines, and somebody had to go to the Joker. So Johan got a clean race, but let's be fair, you know, he's the most experienced and he's a world champion. We wouldn't expect anything less.
Good job by Kristoffersen in front of the packed house here in Norway. They're going to go mad in this next one because Andreas Bakkerud is on the line. Bakkerud, of course, the only man to have had a clean sweep in the World Rallycross Championship 2 years ago. Bakkerud won every single qualifying session. He won his semi-final, he won his final. That's 30 points. Lots of people have had 30 points, but they've never, ever won all 4 of the qualifying sessions as well. He did that. So at the end of the year, we gave him a fitting trophy, which was a gold broom for the clean sweep. He was actually very, very pleased indeed. If you want to hear the story about what he did to celebrate, it's in the paddock walk, which we did on Friday. So he was in full entertaining form. What form is he going to be on today? Here's the grid then for race 4 of Q1. Sebastian Loeb, you don't even need to know anything about him, do you? Next, Andreas Bakkerud, Timur Timizyanov, Rennie Munich and Robbie Larsen. So this is a very good lineup, but trust me, race 5 is even tougher. But a tough one, I think, for Bakkerud and for Loeb here, Guy. We've seen the other drivers so far been spread out against some of the guys who don't run quite so often. 5 different manufacturers in this. Rennie Munich went brilliantly last weekend at Silverstone in America's Rallycross brand new series run by IMG. He was up in P3 overnight against the factory Volkswagens and Subarus from the States, so he did a great job. Munich's on form. The Seat chassis is looking really good, but I think it's safe to say all eyes on Bakkerud for this one. The marshals walk back. It's focus time for these 5. Smoke from the back of the EKS car, but we've seen that a lot this year. Brilliant even start on the inside between the Bakkerud's going to try and edge him. Surely he'll go Joker. He does. Bakkerud goes deep to the Joker. Timizyanov on the handbrake, trying to go around the outside of Loeb. Loeb's ahead of him. Tag from the back, maybe from Larsen. Loeb holds on in the Peugeot, turns the car into the left-hander. He's followed by Timizyanov and Larsen, but Bakkerud straight to the Joker.
Fantastic car control by Sebastian Loeb to sort that out. We've seen it before from Andreas Bakkerud, but it's not what you want on the run down from turn 1 into turn 2. But Andreas Backrud is taking Joker. Is his strategy going to pay off? Because he had a great drag with Sebastian Loeb, but just not quite enough, and he didn't want to get into a bit of a battle.
No, and he got it, didn't he? He got the whole shot into the Joker, which here can work it well in lap time, but it also works well, doesn't it, if the people on the standard lap squabble. And although that wasn't the worst squabble, it will have cost them a couple of tenths, won't it?
It's going to play into Andreas Backrud's hands
look
now.
at that!
Robin
Absolutely, fully sideways. Yes, Robin! Fully lit, but he still can't get out in front of Backrud. So Backrud with a tidy first lap, but Larsson's on an absolute mission.
Yeah, he drives like that, doesn't he? You know,
Yeah,
he's aggressive. He wants to give it a go. He's not going to die wanted, is he?
That's
wondering.
That is a proper Joker lap, isn't it? He's just gone in there and you say, just send it.
On board with Andreas Backrud. You can see how dusty it is. This corner's changed for this year. In there's a bit of a bump. It's sticking out a little bit.
Listen to the gravel under the car too. Gives me an idea, doesn't it? How loose the gravel still is.
Squashes it, yeah, and then on the brakes hard down the first corner, a little bit of handbrake just to get the weight transferred. The back of the car turned out, but around the front. For a lot of dust, Andrew.
There isn't, and the sun looks bright in the dust, doesn't it? You can see that from the camera with the sun shining through the dust. It's really, really white and hard to see through. You can see that
nice in the car, you know, when it's like that.
Sideways to backward, maybe a bit too sideways, but still out front and leaving Timozyanov, the only driver not to a Joker. Remember, it was Timozyanov, and Loeb. Timozyanov, the only driver who came close to beating backward.
Timozyanov is the fastest man on track at the moment.
Interesting. So Timozyanov's on a flyer. Loeb and him both go Joker on the last lap, but it will be Loeb who will take it if Backrud can't get up the inside. I mean, I think Loeb's going to come out clearly in front. He is. Sebastian Loeb and Timozyanov maybe as well. The Russian gets past Backrud, which he couldn't do a couple of years ago when the car got the puncture. Timozyanov failed to capitalise, unfortunately, on his brilliant form. We haven't seen Timozyanov take a win since IMG have been running this series. We haven't seen the Russian on the top step of the podium since 2012. Loeb, on the other hand, we saw on the top step of the podium just 2 events ago in Belgium. The Peugeot has been fast everywhere this year. It looks like it's fast again here in Norway. How fast is it? The Volkswagen, the Kristoffersen is 239.9. It's not enough. 0.3 of a second back from Loeb.
But boy, does that Peugeot look nice and balanced.
Easy to drive, you think?
It looks completely underneath him. He looks at ease driving it.
So Backrud, having got probably what he wanted, you know, straight to Joker lap first. But then we saw he was a little bit sideways in the hairpin as well.
Just wasn't quick enough on the lap times. You can see it.
Great race there. Here's the result of it. Loeb takes it with the 240.2. Kristoffersen is just hanging on at the top of the table from Timozyanov, Backrud, Larsson, Munich in that one. Here's where they slot in. So Loeb goes P2, Timozyanov, Backrud, Larsson at 4th, 5th, 6th. It's very close across the top of those guys. We're going to go down and have a catch up with Neil Cole, who's with Sebastian Loeb.
Well, Sebastian, second quickest so far, and for once you weren't having to sweep the gravel clean.
It was okay. It was a tough fight in the first corner with Timozyanov, but I made some little mistakes, but overall it was quite a good drive, so not too bad to start the weekend.
Well done, thank you.
Race 4, have a look at this down towards turn 1. So Backrud and the race with Loeb up towards the first corner. You can see he's just about got enough, and then in fact, because of course Loeb checks up on the brakes, Backrud gets the slingshot into the
Looks like he had that.
It looked like he was going to be all on his own.
Yeah, it looked like he had that strategy all along. But yeah, getting a bit crossed up and a bit tangled there.
How much time would that have cost Loeb?
A few tenths, nothing much. But the angle of the car is more scary than the time that is lost.
This was probably the bravest Joker lap of the year. Hashtag just send it, and he absolutely did on the handbrake and in. Couldn't get out there in front of Backrud. At this point, we thought Backrud was on the best strategy.
Yeah, we maybe did, but the track was getting cleaner, but it's also getting more dusty, bizarrely. So, yeah, that was playing into, or not into the hands of these drivers, but Sebastian on the last lap at Timozyanov, obviously following it down, and Andreas Backrud knows right now.
There's nothing but look at that. He can see from the left, he knows he's lost out to P2, and then unfortunately down to P3. So Backrud still with a good start. You know, the fans will be pleased to see he's up there and on the pace. This is the dust. Guy Wilkes was calling it. You can see the visibility is actually pretty tricky. They put a lot of dust decks down last night too. One more race to go in Q1. And the lineup in this, considering it's a random draw, is pretty epic.
Epic is an understatement.
Yeah, If you've
This
been
is
through
almost
it,
like a final.
But do you know what? It's one of those ones where if you get this in the draw, you're in two minds. Because on the one hand, you've got a tough draw. You've got 5 very good drivers. On the other hand, tactically, you can do whatever you like because you know it doesn't really matter if you come out behind someone from the Joker.
We've got 5 sensible, really experienced drivers. Timmy Hansen on board, just doing his tyre scrub there, his tyre clean.
And the tyre clean here, Guy, how short is it? And there's a wall right in front of you.
Yeah, it's you've got to be quick getting off the clutch to get the wheels to spin, but also getting back onto the clutch so you don't stuff it straight to the wall.
Imagine
you look a bit of a dummy if you do
that would not be ideal, would it?
Oh, Marshall looking underneath Baumanis' car there for some reason. I'm not quite sure what that's for.
Indeed, they are. Yanis Baumanis.
They don't like them starting here if there's fluids coming out of the car. So I wonder if he was just checking if it was oil or water or something that was leaking from that car.
Here's the lineup for the final race of Q1. Kevin Hansen on the inside from Matthias Ekström, Niklas Gronholm, Yanis Baumanis and Timmy Hansen. So the Hansen brothers both in this. Ekström lining up on one of those inside slots. In theory, an inside slot here is good because you can determine what happens in turn 1, but it really is a bit of a lottery. When you've got the Joker in the first corner, do you get the start you want? Can you do the tactics you want?
Peugeot inside now. Let's watch this, and the Hansens on board of both.
Guy Wilkes, I think, wondering whether they'll split the strategy. Good start, both the Peugeots and Ekström too. Gronholm's going to drop back into P3, down towards turn 1. Kevin Hansen dives on the brakes. Ekström, though's got the inside of Timmy Hansen, who look for the cutback on the exit. He's going to light the Peugeot up, but Ekström is a wily driver, isn't he? Holds the line just a little bit tight and shuts the door on the exit.
Absolutely, I think Timmy Hansen was in two minds there, and he just hesitated a slight fraction, it looked, and Ekström was able to get the inside. He got that good a start. I wondered if he wanted to turn across, but maybe didn't dare, or got the call to go Joker.
Now Tim may be disappointed obviously because he would love to win the session, and being behind Ekström now, unless he passes him, it's incredibly unlikely and it will cost time to pass him, but he's not going to get held up much by Ekström.
No, he's not. Ekström's going to be absolutely on it. I've sat in a car with him while he's driving, and the energy that comes out of that guy is unreal for a circuit racing bred driver.
He's
so
big
energetic.
Inputs, isn't it? Yeah, big inputs on gravel and big confident braking.
Hand, steering wheel, handbrake. It's brilliant to sit alongside and watch.
Yeah, absolutely lit. Timmy Hansen again. Timmy, remember, has won a session at every event so far this year. Niklas Gronholm, I think, has made the final twice, so he's having a good season as well in the brand new Hyundai World Rallycross car. Ekström backs it in over the crest and then down towards the hairpin and in, keeping the car nice and straight on the exit here, Guy. They're not using too much steering. What are you thinking lap times wise?
Yeah, Timmy Hansen and Matthias Ekström are actually, on the money, but we've got Niklas Gronholm going in the Joker now. So
where's he going to come out? Ekström's going to get him. Ekström and Hansen are both going to get him. He could be close with Hansen, but I think he's going to slot him behind. Not going to see him until he comes through the dust. It's close between them. Gronholm's going really well this year.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's really coming of age, if you can say that. He's a great guy, and he's driving just coming on leaps and bounds.
Big difference there in Baumanis' start, but a handbrake on the way in, early on the gas. Also in the way that Ekström turns the car in over that crest compared to Hansen and Gronholm behind him. Completely different. He's really sideways on the crest.
Yeah, which you don't, but he's so good at adapting. Matthias Ekström, rally, circuit race, rallycross, he's got the lot.
Kevin Hansen into the Joker lap. Is he going to manage to edge Ekström? It's a good run from Kevin Hansen. Has a look up the inside. Kevin Hansen's going to get Matthias Ekström. So Kevin Hansen could be on here for a qualifying session win in World Rallycross. So Timmy's managed to sneak up the inside too after that moment. So what can Kevin do here? 2:39.9 is the target time. I'm not sure if Kevin's ever won a qualifying session in the World Championship. I don't think he has. Can he win this one here in Norway over the crest to the left? He's just got to go right and get on the gas. But I don't think he's got enough. 2:39.9. I think they're going to be a little way off. Might be closer than I think. No, it's going to go. 2:41.7 for Kevin Hansen. Wins the race with a great Joker strategy, but that's going to drop him down about P4. So in fact the earlier races have gone quicker, and that last race, for whatever reason, Guy, hasn't managed to get the job done.
We think actually looking at the time in there, he's going to drop him behind Timmy Timizyanov.
Kevin takes it 2:41.3 from his brother Timmy, Matthias Ekström, then Niklas Gronholm and Yanis Baumanis, and there you see the evidence. So 5th place for Kevin, 6th for Timmy. Look, Ekström drops in behind his teammate Backrud by just a couple of tenths after getting mugged on the last lap there by Kevin and Timmy. So he's dropped down the places, but it is Kristoffersen, the world champion, the 3-time winner so far this season, who has taken the session here in Norway.
It was a great effort by Petter Solberg though. Race 1.
Yes.
That track cleaned, okay, yes,
Yeah.
it was a bit more dusty.
You wonder about the dust, don't you? Look, it was a strange one. You couldn't pick a theme in terms of the timing through there.
No, the VWs are on it though.
Last race then of Q1, and this one featuring 5 very fast drivers. It's Matthias Ekstrom and Timmy Hansen. Ekstrom, who looked like he might check up for turn 1, then decided not to. Timmy looked like he committed, then unfortunately ended up behind Matthias. And this is on board with Hansen. You can see Ekstrom, he tries to get it, but Ekstrom sideways and just keeps the car tidy on the inside, no way through.
Yeah, and obviously we were watching that race while Kevin Hansen was going about his business very, very well at the front end and keeping it clean with Niklas Grönholm chasing him down.
Yeah, great job there. These two out front. Grönholm joking earlier. I wonder if that was in response to the lap times the cars were behind him.
Absolutely, he was trying to cover off and maybe get in either behind Timmy Hansen or even in front of him.
Couldn't quite get it done, so it just came down to Kevin on the last lap. You can see the gap as he went in. As he came out, sideways on the way in actually. Very sideways for Kevin. Tidily though up the inside, and watch here for Timmy, because Timmy manages to take advantage of the fact that Kevin has had a tiny little nudge on the inside of Ekstrom there, and he gets through as well. Final race of the day going to Kevin Hansen. Okay, so those would be your standings, but they're not quite working for us right now. So here they are, that's better. So Johan Kristoffersson with 50 points in Q1. Sebastian Loeb is in P2, Solberg P3, then Timozyanov, Kevin Hansen, Timmy Hansen, Andreas Backrud and Matthias Ekstrom. So I think worth note there really, Timozyanov up in P4 with a Hyundai. Great stuff. Niklas Grönholm, Larsen, Eriksson, Baumanis, look, Wirtz, you can't see on that list, he's a little way further down, but Neil Cole is with him now, so we can hear his thoughts on his first rallycross race.
Well, I've made it down into the paddock and MJP, and it's great to see. Oh, can I just shake you by the hand, Alex? Your debut in rallycross. Just tell us, has the adrenaline settled down yet?
Not quite yet, but I really enjoyed it, to line up and then this explosive start and everything and contact. This is really cool stuff. Fortunately, of course, the jump start, I had difficulties already on the pre-grid with selecting gears, and then through the race I only had 2 gears left, first and second, so lost a lot of time with that, and the extra choke lap. Chassis feels good, and I start to get into the groove, so just bring on heats too.
So it's like a classic rallycross baptism of fire, because double joker, jump start, problems with the car, gravel, all in one race. So now you've got that out of the way, you can really start to pick up some speed.
Well, hopefully. I need to go into the semis. Anyway, let's see how the days unfold. I'm really happy that Max Bucher and Team Austria gave me the opportunity to be here. Thanks for IMG and World Rallycross to have me. It's super cool, I'm excited, and I'm just in the process of really falling in love with it.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we can have a little look at your race. If you wanted to see where you sort of could talk us through, of course, this you had a jump start, so you had to do 2 jokers.
Yeah, so my first start, I decided to go quite safe at the launch. Then those guys in front of me spun, so I decided, okay, I go joker because I had 2 anyway to do. Then I was behind Max. So I said, okay, I keep 1 car length space to my team boss, I guess.
Quite wise.
Don't bite the hand which feeds you. And then he had a little issue, so I went past him. And then already the gearbox started to play up, which is a shame. And the last lap over the last hill, I just struggled at all to come up. So again, big time loss, but anyway, it doesn't matter. A lot of fun, and I think quite a few issues and all the hits. So hey, maybe I can still manage to pull it together.
Now, of course, you're actually wearing your Le Mans 24 Hours overalls, and that's what we know you from, and of course Formula 1, but Rallycross.
Yeah, sorry about that. We've lost our interview there, and just a problem with one of the RF cameras. So as you can see, we're looking at a crowd shot at the moment, and obviously people are filtering away after that. Absolutely fantastic, and well, lots of carnage really in the first qualifying heat. So here we have the opening ceremony. I don't know if this is a traditional Norwegian thing that we're watching, or if it's just a local band. Yeah, they've lost a few musketeers, I think. It's great. The local people really love this happening so far up here in Norway. really get involved. The whole town, the whole area, embrace it. And we've actually got the camera back up and running, so we're going to be going back down to Neil Cole and Mr. Wirtz. Here we go.
Well, sorry about that. We're having a bit of technical issues, but we are still here in the... If I stand up on these tyres, I'm nearly as tall as Andrew Coley and Alex Wirtz.
Now we can stop crashing.
Did you get the quickest qualifying time just for running down from the commentary booth? I think you did.
Well, I like to think it was quite a stylish run. One of the Norwegian fans shouted, "Don't go too fast" or something as I ran through the paddock. I was like, sorry, and quickly came in here. But yeah, a fantastic first experience, I guess, and the adrenaline of a rallycross start fully there. 5 cars in a line is something pretty special.
Yes, and now the adrenaline is just changing into love because I can't wait for the next go and wheel bang into turn 1 or bodywork bang into turn 1. Wheel banging we do in single seaters. Anyway, it's also a bit frustrating now with the gears. I wanted to show a lap time already in the morning. I can feel the chassis now with big changes overnight. It suits now my style. I can feel that we can come closer, and don't forget we're still a privateer team. If we're coming within a second to the factory teams, I think that's pretty much what we can get out of the car.
Now, you had to do 2 jokers, and we noticed your second joker, you looked like you were a lot more confident on that straight and going sideways into the gravel, because maybe a little bit too sideways if we have a look.
No, absolutely too sideways, but I looked this morning and I saw that nice soft gravel on the outside, so I thought if I overshoot it, then it will save me, but it did, so I think I lost a second. Anyway, never mind, I had decent exit. It's learning, just right here.
But it's nice, isn't it? If you go in the gravel on the Circuit de la Sarthe, that's really bad. But here, it's fine.
We spoke this morning as well, and you did say as well that you're here to challenge yourself. I think people at home probably think that someone who's done Le Mans and WEC and everything, that it's all there. But actually, you're really enjoying the challenge of something where you feel totally out of your depth.
No, absolutely. And just for the viewers, when you're a race driver, and I've seen that with a lot of driver coaching, a race driver coming into a gravel environment. We have an instinct to kill oversteer, but here you need the oversteer. You need to get into oversteer and then control the car. But if your first instinct is to just countersteer, you kill the performance of these cars. So this is the challenge I love. I'm still not there yet because sometimes in those situations, instead of just flooring it, I lift it, and that's why I went off in the joker lap. But it's again that instinct stuff, and this is my challenge to overcome that and get fully into these cars. And then I think the next level of enjoyment and lap time performance will come.
Now, that's your challenge. Of course, these guys have got a challenge. We can hear banging, clattering, the engine's open. Do you think they've got a chance to fix the gearbox? Because as you said before, you were stuck with 2 gears. Will they get it fixed in time for qualifying 2?
I haven't talked to them because you talked to me. Don't worry, it's not an attack. I will check because I really hope they fix it. They're a really good car crew, super team. So if anyone, they can fix it. Would be a shame to miss it, but anyway, it's life for this rallycross.
Well, we'll let you go and speak to your engineers, but honest, Alex, well done, thank you. And I'll step down a bit here. Andrew Coley's still with me. So you're live with us. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you share what's happening. But of course, tomorrow we're live on TV. The listing should be on the screen at the bottom. Go there, find out where you can watch it, where you live on proper telly. But for now, we're live streaming, and this is what's coming up later today. Of course, qualifying 1 is finished. We've seen the results. Let's have a look at what's coming later today. So qualifying 2 this afternoon is at 3 o'clock local time. Excuse the noise, that's the wheel guns and the nut guns. Then we've got qualifying 3 tomorrow morning, which gives them a bit more time to repair any damage. I mean, next door from us here, we've got de Moustier's car, which is missing a wheel. So they've got work to do. Then tomorrow, just before lunchtime, 5 to 12, is qualifying 4. And then we're back on TV for the semi-finals and the final. So, Andrew, what's your assessment of the carnage here in hell from the first session of qualifying?
It's unusual to see so many people make mistakes in Q1. You get the draw, which means that the quick guys are not always in with the other quick guys. Sometimes you make a wrong tactic. Sometimes you make a wrong tactic. That can mean you get stuck behind someone slower. Then in the quick race there, we had 5 quick guys together and didn't go that well. So we're not really sure maybe you can hear us. We're not really sure how we saw the track develop. Normally we expect this place to clean because there's quite deep gravel. What we did see is a lot of dust, even though they put down a huge amount of dust X last night. I'd say it's mid-20s in terms of temperature here. There's no wind wind either, which means the dust is not moving. So possibly to get out in front, you maybe want to wait on your joker. A first corner joker here in theory is fast, but maybe then you're in the dust. So maybe we'll see people wait to joker. If you get the whole shot to turn one and not sit in the dust, we'll see a whole nother session to come still today.
Well, I hope all the drivers are watching, because that's really good advice right there from Andrew Coley. Thanks, Andrew. Good job in comms. Also, thanks very much to Guy Wilkes. I think you've got a job for the next royal wedding as well, Guy. But thank you guys for watching. Share this. Tell the world qualifying 2 is less than 2 hours away.